Well, you found the quick review, and this is dividing polynomials. All right, so first off, what about when you're dividing by a monomial? All right, so that's the key there because we're dividing by a monomial. Technically, we have to divide each term of the numerator by that monomial. And so we really have, in this case, three different problems. Okay, so just reduce this. It's going to be a 3a squared on the top and a 2 on the bottom. Go ahead and now deal with this second one. I'm going to have that negative sign out in front. Okay, and we're going to get a 4a, so negative 4a. And be careful on the last term here. Students often just don't want to put anything, but remember 4a divided by 4a is 1. And so that's 3a squared divided by 2 minus 4a plus 1. And again, so what I did was reduce the 6 and the 4 to 3/2. A cubed on the top, one of the cubes on the top gets wiped out by the a in the bottom, leaving you 2 on the top, right? Again, don't want to review that as Algebra 2. Okay, so that's when dividing by a monomial. What happens when you divide by a polynomial, binomial, trinomial, etc.? Then you got to do long division. Long division. Okay, you can't do it the previous way. Now you got to do long division. Okay, so if you remember, this is the way I taught you guys. First thing you want to do is take the first term and divide it by the first term. That's going to tell you what to put up top. All right, 6n cubed divided by 3n is a 2n squared. And I like to keep my terms lined up. Notice this is the squared column. All right, so we got 2n cubed. Now, I got to distribute. 3n times 2n squared is 6n cubed. Now, those should always match. If they don't, you made a mistake to begin with. And then don't forget to multiply the negative 2 times the 2n squared, and that would be a negative 4n squared. And remember, in long division, you have to subtract, and you have to distribute this negative sign. Okay, so the first term is 0. Good. Now we have negative 19 and a positive 4, so that's going to be a negative 15n squared. Bring down my 31n. All right. Remember, again, it's front divided by front. A negative 15n squared divided by a 3n is a negative 5n. Okay, so again, distribute. 3n times a negative 5n, that's going to be a negative 15n. And then a negative 2 times a negative 5n is a positive 10n. Again, don't forget you're subtracting, and you got to distribute this negative sign. Okay, so we end up with 0 in the front term, 31 positives and 10 negatives, leaves me 21 negatives. Bring down my negative 15. Now again, remember, it's the front divided by the front. So 21n divided by 3n is a positive 7. All right, distribute. 3n times 7 is a 21n. Negative 2 times 7 is a negative 14. And again, don't forget, we're subtracting. Distribute the negative. Front term is 0. The back term, you get 15 negatives and 14 positives. You get a negative 1. And remember how I showed you to do a remainder. All right. Now, sometimes you won't get a remainder and you're done. But if you do, I taught you to use the negative out in front of the number. And then the remainder is the numerator. And the denominator is the divisor, 3n minus 2. So we ended up with 2n squared minus 5n plus 7 minus a 1 over 3n minus 2. Okay? Long division. Hey, that's it.